It was a normal afternoon, the sun blazing down on the cracked sidewalks as traffic hummed lazily in the background. A black teenage boy named Malik strolled home from school, his backpack hanging heavy with books, earbuds spilling soft beats into his ears. Nothing about him screamed trouble. He was just tired, hungry, and thinking about the leftovers waiting in the fridge. But then came the screech of tires, the kind of sound that flips peace into chaos. A police cruiser swerved beside him, and out stepped Officer Crenshaw, a man known for using his badge like a weapon against anyone who wasn't pale enough to blend into his comfort zone. Crenshaw's eyes narrowed, his words slicing the air. Who are you? Who are your parents? And why are you walking down the street like it belongs to your father? His voice was sharp, taunting, itching for humiliation. Malik froze, confused. Sir, I'm just heading home from school, he said carefully, but Crenshaw wasn't here for answers. He was here for a show. Suddenly, the officer clutched his pockets dramatically and shouted, Where's my money? You took it, didn't you? His accusation was so absurd the crowd forming nearby almost laughed. Almost. Malik's heart pounded, fear mixing with disbelief. Phones rose, cameras clicked. Someone whispered, He's really accusing a kid of robbery on the street? A woman with fierce eyes stepped closer, her voice sharp enough to cut through the madness. What makes you think a child walking home from school stole your money? Viewers, if you're shaking your head right now, hit like and subscribe. This is only the beginning of the firestorm. The officer puffed his chest like a turkey on Thanksgiving, strutting in circles around Malik as if the teenager were a criminal mastermind. His hand hovered over his holster, not because there was danger, but because drama was his addiction. He barked, Empty your pockets. Now, I know your type. Slick little thief thinking you can outsmart me. Malik's voice cracked, but held steady. Sir, I don't have anything of yours. He pulled his pockets inside out, showing nothing but lint and a folded bus ticket. The crowd gasped, some shaking their heads, others muttering curses under their breath. Crenshaw wasn't done. He grabbed Malik's backpack and flung it to the ground, spilling notebooks, pencils, and a half-eaten sandwich onto the street. He held the bag high like it was evidence of some great conspiracy. This, right here. I bet he hid my cash in here. His eyes darted around, hungry for validation. But validation never came. Instead, someone in the crowd shouted, Check your own fat pockets! The crowd laughed, and another voice chimed in, Yeah, maybe he ate his money with those donuts. The sarcasm stung, and even Malik, shaken as he was, cracked the tiniest smile. The gentlewoman who had spoken earlier folded her arms, unimpressed. So let me get this straight. You lost money, and your detective skills led you to a high schooler carrying math homework and peanut butter sandwiches? The laughter grew louder, cameras zooming in closer. Viewers, if you're enjoying how this officer is digging his own grave, don't forget to like and subscribe because the real humiliation hasn't even started. By now, the crowd had swelled like a stadium before kickoff. Strangers who had been minding their business were now witnesses, their phones recording every humiliating second. Crenshaw's forehead glistened with sweat, but his ego wouldn't let him back down. He jabbed a finger at Malik and shouted, Don't let that innocent face fool you. These kids are trained liars. I've seen it 1,000 times. A young man from the crowd yelled back, Yeah, and we've seen racist cops 1,000 times too. The cheer that followed hit Crenshaw like a slap. His smirk faltered, but he doubled down, stomping on Malik's scattered notebooks. Pages tore, pencil shavings flew, and still Malik stood frozen, humiliated yet unbroken. The gentlewoman stepped closer, her tone calm but sharp enough to draw blood. Officer, the only crime here is your imagination. Maybe check under your car seat before accusing a child. The crowd roared with laughter. Someone else shouted, Plot twist. Maybe the kid should pat you down. Crenshaw's face turned crimson, veins pulsing like overinflated balloons. He reached into his own pocket dramatically, as though ready to prove a point, but instead pulled out a crumpled wad of bills. The crowd erupted in screams and laughter so loud it rattled windows. You mean this money? Someone hollered. Phones zoomed in, catching his trembling hands. He had accused a teenager of theft while his so-called missing money had been in his own pocket the entire time. Viewers, if this twist made you laugh, smash that like and subscribe button because the real revenge is about to unfold. The crowd smelled blood, and Officer Crenshaw knew it. His face was the color of a ripe tomato, his words stumbling over themselves like drunk soldiers. He tried to laugh it off. Oh, must have just slipped in here, happens all the time. But nobody was buying it. The gentlewoman tilted her head, eyes piercing him like a blade. You terrorized a child over money you had in your own pocket. Do you know how pathetic that looks? Malik slowly gathered his torn notebooks, the sandwich squished under a boot print, but he stood taller than before. The crowd began chanting, apologize, apologize. Phones were lifted high, live streams exploding with comments. Racist clown exposed. Fire this man, this is history. Crenshaw's jaw tightened. Apologizing to a black teenager felt like swallowing poison to him, but the pressure was suffocating. Even his fellow officers, who had quietly arrived at the scene, avoided eye contact, embarrassed to be associated with him. The gentlewoman crossed her arms. If you don't apologize right now, officer, this video will make sure your badge is worth less than Monopoly money. She didn't need to shout. Her words sliced deep in their calmness. Finally, Crenshaw's pride cracked. He turned to Malik, voice barely a whisper. Sorry. But the crowd roared back. Louder. Phones shoved closer. He choked out louder. I'm sorry. The humiliation was complete, carved into internet history forever. Malik looked him in the eye and replied, next time, maybe check your pockets before checking someone's skin. The cheer that erupted shook the block. Viewers, if that comeback gave you chills, like and subscribe because this was the sweetest revenge in broad daylight.